It's disturbing video that's gone viral, already viewed millions of times. The man getting punched by that LAPD officer is 28-year-old Alexander Mitchell. It happened Sunday in Watts. And the LAPD says its officers initially stopped because Mitchell's car was illegally double parked on the wrong side of the street. They also say when they tried to question him, he refused to cooperate and became physically combative.
You roll all the windows down?
What's going on?
Roll all the windows down. You're double parked.
So what's going on, though?
You're double parked, man. And you're sitting in the car. Turn the car off. Huh?
It ain't on.
All right. You got a license on you? Your ID?
What's going on?
I just told you, man.
But what's going on? I'm not on probation or parole.
Okay.
I'm at my
You have an ID on you. You're double parked.
But what does that mean, though?
There's a car. You're double parked
What
the
does that
wrong
mean?
way in the street.
What does that mean? Why you open my door? I'm not on probation
You have
or
a
parole.
license?
I got everything. Why you open my
Grab your
door?
license for me, man.
I do, but why you open my door?
Huh? Because you're ignoring me.
I didn't ignore
Can
you.
you step out of the car?
Yeah, I can step out the car. Open my door like that. Weird.
Face the car.
I ain't on probation or parole. For what?
I'm gonna pat you down for
what?
weapons.
And that's when things go sideways. As officers try to pat Mitchell down for weapons, he begins to resist.
Why you sensing up, dude? Cause look what is he doing? How you acting, bro? Man, get him off me. I know my rights.
As things escalate, a crowd begins to gather, and officers and Mitchell continue to struggle for several more minutes, with officers unable to cuff Mitchell.
What did I do, though?
Oh! I got that on fucking record. I got that on record too.
So you was seeing
He
something?
just sacked him.
Wow.
He just sacked him.
Just listen to these. Cause now you got
Hey.
you still out there.
I'm finna
I
sue.
got shit.
Listen to him here. Go to the car.
Call your super.
Out there.
Now.
Listen to everything they say now.
He don't gotta sock him down. He don't gotta sock him down.
Car for no reason.
Watch this. Watch this. Nah,
Y'all niggas weird.
yeah, he just slapped him in the face. Wrong guy.
So what I do?
That officer sucker punched my son while he was in handcuffs. And we're tired.
Attorney.
All I can tell you is he was handcuffed behind his back and he was compliant and he did nothing wrong. He did not deserve to be treated this way.
The subject actually requested a supervisor, and because the officers had been involved in use of force, they also requested one.
The officer in this incident has been removed from field duties during the investigation. Mitchell's mother says that's not enough.
He needs to be reprimanded. He needs to be fired. He needs not to be worked or hired at another police station. He needs to be gone.
Yet another black in the long line of resisting arrest blacks who receive consequences that they would laugh at if it happened to a white. Here we go again. Why is everyone supposed to care? For what reason? Everyone is afraid to say what they really know. But let's dive into the details of this latest incident to see what really happened. On July 28, 2024, near the intersection of East 113th Street and Graham Avenue, two LAPD officers were recorded struggling with a larger man who was not fully handcuffed. As bystanders captured the scene on video, the man repeatedly asked, "What did I do, though?" His question was met not with a response, but with a sudden punch to the jaw from one of the officers. The man took the punch so well, you'd think he was trained for a heavyweight title fight. Witnesses reacted with shock and condemnation, a chorus of disbelief that spread quickly across social media and mainstream news. According to the LAPD statement, the man, identified as Alexander Mitchell, who is a doppelganger for an out-of-shape fat version of former boxer Lennox Lewis, was resisting arrest by refusing to place his hands behind his back and grasping his front waistband, preventing the officers from securing him. The Los Angeles Police Protective League, the police union, stated that prior to the punch, Mitchell was not completely handcuffed. Only one wrist was cuffed, thus creating a dangerous weapon if that cuffed hand gets free and the cuffs are swung at either officer. Police claim that the punch was used to enable the officers to complete the handcuffing process. Regular opponents of police claim that this is yet another example of police brutality, a glaring instance of unnecessary violence. You people always cheer on the police state and tyranny, when the police harass a citizen, said at Captain Buzzkill on X. Then they want to talk about freedom. Newsflash, after they get done beating up the black people, they're going to come after all of the white people next. History repeats itself. There's truth in the argument that unchecked police power will turn into abuse. But of course, Captain Buzzkill has to mention black people because he isn't actually concerned about abuse. He's concerned about someone's political positions and hides it behind this black label. The man was partially handcuffed, and we have on video that he was clearly resisting arrest. Why follow directions when you can escalate the situation and become the next viral sensation? People were taking out their cameras to go viral, and it only egged him on to do the wrong thing. When it comes to resisting arrest, it's crucial to understand the importance of leverage. Resisting without any short-term or long-term leverage, such as evidence, legal support, political backing, or public backing, only escalates the situation and leads to negative consequences. You need both short-term and long-term leverage. For example, the January 6th rioters had short-term leverage as many got into the Capitol building, but long-term they were hunted down like dogs and unconstitutionally politically persecuted. Resisting unlawful arrest is not always the wrong thing to do, argues Captain Buzzkill. What would it take for you to resist? Would you resist if you saw your wife or mother being assaulted by a male officer, or would you say, just let them do what they want? Because arresting a dude for trespassing is obviously just a gateway crime to officers attacking your loved ones. Captain Buzzkill's vivid imagination gives us insight into why he's so aggressively wrong. He sees every cop as a villain in his own personal horror story. Can you imagine living life through the lens of every cop is racist? The problem with cops is that they work for the government. They aren't there to protect us. But even if these cops were private security, they would have handled it the same way, maybe rougher. It wouldn't have changed Mitchell's compliance or Captain Buzzkill's take on it. Blacks are allergic to following directions and challenging any discrepancies in court. This sentiment, though blunt, highlights a frustration with the recurring theme of resistance leading to violent confrontations. The moral of the story? If you're black and resist arrest, you're a martyr. If you're white, you're an idiot who deserved it. The problem lies in the short-term versus long-term decision-making. Blacks often seem to struggle with viewing the long-term. They are in a constant state of survival mode. This leads to voting for politicians who don't serve their best interests, using predatory lending services, devaluing education, and resisting arrest, which results in violent confrontations. Fight or flight is a great survival mechanism, but not so much when dealing with law enforcement. Apparently, that's a lesson yet to be learned.
Middle MAGA.